Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast. My name is David Beeson. I am your host for today's conversation, and my guest today is Rasu Neupane, CEO and founder of Power V. We are going to be talking about her business journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek of what it's really like to build and operate a business. Rasu, welcome to the show, and thank you for being here today. I would love for you to give us a little bit of background of who you are and tell us a little bit about your business as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on the show, David. And I'm excited to kind of go into it and give your audience a, walkthrough on what my day-to-day is like or what it's been like the last, I would say it's been a little over 6 months since, I started this company. So the entire journey. Just to kind of, start off, I guess I can do a little bit of introduction on myself. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
Yeah, so I started this business, David, I would say right around February, which is also my birthday month, and which is nice. It was not
Oh,
anything,
it's awesome.
but now I can pair my birthday month with my company's birthday month and celebrate together. But regardless, I filed this on February, and then I really started kind of really, really kind of working on this brand as right after I quit my job. I was a full-time sales rep. And I enjoyed doing sales. I'm not sure how much you do know about sales or the background of it. And from the looks of it, it looks like you're nodding yes.
I did sales for 4 months, door-to-door knocking. So yes, I know how sales. I know a little bit about some sales stuff. I was
Yeah.
at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, so sales is very, it teaches you a lot, right? It's not everyone's cup of tea, but you're just going out there and talking to people who might be, might not want to talk to you or uncomfortable. So really, it teaches you a lot about people selling, and which is also why it kind of inspired me to get into this. Because my previous job, I was doing a lot of, strategy into sales. So I wasn't just doing sales; I was doing strategic sales where it really taught me how to kind of how the entire sales work, right? And I was like, okay, you know what, I have a great and phenomenal idea, and it wasn't just an idea, it was more like I've solved a problem for myself that I couldn't find anywhere else. And it was, David, 3 years of just me trying to find the perfect skincare because when I first moved to Austin, which was I believe 3 to 4 years ago, all of a sudden all these stress brought a lot of acne on my face, and like just trying to deal with that and solve problems along the way, I realized even the best in the industry don't really have, you know, they don't know how to solve a problem that is specifically that I had, right? They can have a general idea or can guide you in the proper direction. So, this business idea was born from, my background in sales, me already seeing what that looks like, my frustration in the whole skincare industry, right? Because you are fed a lot of BS, and pardon my language.
No, you're all good.
In when you go and venture and then you trust trust these people to really hoping they can solve your problem, and sometimes it can backfire. So born out of frustration, wanted to do something more out of my life, and it's always been that case. So honestly, it was like a perfect storm for me because already had the first hand experience of selling, perfect market gap that I had found, born out of my own frustration, and also realized stem cell tech is just on the cusp of, I guess, audiences. I mean, client. I mean, people are finally trying to get an understanding of biotech, and I was like, you know what, this is the perfect time. I'm not just building a brand where I'm doing the exact same thing everyone else is doing. And I was like, well, I did this for myself and then I found a niche. Why don't I bring this to the market and solve a problem for people who actually have problems like mine? And then turn this into a business. That way, it is a legitimate business where it is for, there's a challenge that I'm solving.
Yeah.
A quick story of how Power B was born on February, and here I am. Somehow everything is manufactured, and we are shipping starting next month. So you caught me
Let's
at the right
go.
time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and from what I know, you have a product here to show us, right?
Yeah, sure. So this is the camera might be a little blurry here, but this is
There
a
we go.
yeah, this is the product. Um and I mean, the whole design aspect, the manufacturing partner that I've worked with, they really nailed it down. And again, as a first-time founder, you're just kind of doing a lot by yourself, and you're kind of walking in the dark, because you're walking in it solo, and there are people there to kind of help you, or they have some kind of an idea on how to help you. But I've never opened a skincare business before. I just solved the problem for myself that I wanted to bring to the market, and I had access to top tier, industry manufacturers in the biotech, right? So yeah, I am just glad, everything's worked out, and our goal is to keep innovating in biotech sector. I don't know how closely you follow the skincare industry, but I'm really excited, and I'm really looking forward to getting people's honest reaction, and I'm hoping that they love this product because it is, fantastic. We when I built this product, David, it was just so intentional from the design to what goes in it, right? And I think that was a whole project in itself because I had to go back and forth with manufacturers, and again, the chemists that I worked with my manufacturing partner, they're one of the leading chemists. So really, have just these conversations back and forth for it to nail it down. And what is so special about this product is, again, we haven't compromised one bit in an ingredient percentage. If anything, I was pushing for my team to be like, I don't care if we have to go a couple dollars more, but I want to make sure that we, everyone who purchases this bottle gets the maximum benefit. So we wanted to make sure the ingredients are it's not isn't di- they aren't diluted, and the technology that we use in the ingredient itself is it's called liposomal. It's up and coming. It just penetrates deeper into your skin while releasing it gradually um throughout the I guess day. And why it's important is because you're buying a $99 bottle. So you don't want something to just, you just put it on and you don't really see the real results. So we wanted this to really be a long lasting and be one of the most technologically advanced skincare out there. So we were really mindful throughout the whole design process and even ingredient efficiency, right? And I'm not sure if you got a chance to look at our portfolio a little bit, but we're clean. We make sure that this formula is PG free, non-toxic, and I mean, there's a lot of lists that I could go down, but in short, we're just, clean formula, PG free, and we wanted to solve this difficult challenge where I think a lot of brands have difficulty in solving, where if it's clean, it's not efficient. If it's efficient, it's not clean. So we are meeting this middle world where we're bringing a product to a market, and I've worked with top tier leaders in the space to solve this problem. So we're clean, clinical. By clinical, I mean we have great clinical data from the dual patented stem cells we use. They are plant stem cells, which is what makes this entire formula vegan. But the data we've had on this is excellent, which is one of the reasons we've wanted to partner with Mibel. They're the leading manufacturer right now in stem cell industry, and there were two ingredients that particularly stuck out, and they had the best data. One of them won like 4 times award, so we wanted to kind of um, get the best, you know, best stem cells from their portfolio. So we have great data. We do have clinical numbers, and if anyone is curious, please feel free to go to our site, and we have listed out all the clinical data that we've gotten from Mibel, and we've kind of used either at the exact percentage or even more, so that the results that you see from their clinical trials could potentially mimic, because we've used the same percentage used in their ingredient, but also with liposomal technology, which makes the active more potent um, and yeah, effective. I know I shared a lot of information there, David.
Oh no, it's great. I think the audience is gonna love it, especially just getting to know everything about your product.
Yeah.
Um, but let's dive a little bit into the business structure itself. So, generally speaking, what does your current ownership structure look like? Is it just you as a sole founder? Do you have a business partner? Are there outside investors?
That's a very good question, right? It is 100% me, and I had in the past explored idea of bringing someone on board. But what tends to happen is if someone as isn't as equally passionate or have the business acumen, then you're just kind of dragging yourself, on this
100%.
process. And the reason that I'm even at this point, David, where I've executed everything so fast is because I am the solo decision maker. And whenever I say yes is a yes. So there isn't no time wasted, right? And although there are pros, don't get me wrong, there's so many pros on having a business partner. But again, I think for this specific brand, it didn't make sense for me to have one. And to be honest with you, I didn't have around my circle who were into skincare or have maybe like certain business acumen, not necessarily skincare, to lead this. But it made perfect sense for me to do the solo, and I'm happy that I did it, because every single decision, every single risk that I take is mine. Because at the end of the day, all the funding that I have put in, and if it goes south, then you know it's kind of on me, and it's my own risk. I'm not putting this burden or risk on anyone else, so I can go to sleep at night feeling better that I didn't compromise, anyone's, I guess, money.
Yeah. So is the entire business and everything currently like basically self-funded right now?
It is self-funded
Oh,
to
that's
this
awesome.
point. Yes, that's 100% correct.
Yeah, that's super cool. All right, so this is kind of a fun question. I'm curious, based on your experience, if I were to give you an extra 10 hours back each week, so basically your normal work week plus 10 hours during it, how would you invest these hours? Would it be in the business or would it be personal life, maybe?
Um, you're probably gonna find this so funny. But I would put it in this business, to be honest with you, because there are moments in your life that I think where it's high time, and it's I don't know. I just feel like this is my time to focus. And even if someone were to give me, hey, extra 10 hours, then I would probably put it back into this business, because this is how much it means to me, right? Because this is genuinely something I'm passionate about, right? And when I'm actively working on it, I enjoy every aspect of it, even though it's challenging and it's frustrating, right? Like having to sit through these designs that I don't really understand. It's frustrating, but getting to solve these challenges and doing it on my own terms is probably one of the most fulfilling thing I've ever felt in my entire life. And I want to make sure that I keep this up and running and this business is successful. And so, which is why, again, if I had extra 10 hours, I would just, no doubt put it back into this business, because that's how it means for me. And that's how much I'm betting on this idea. And yeah, and I'm to be honest with you, I'm just excited. I'm excited to bring this to the market. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Kind of piggybacking off that, how many hours do you spend working in your business, like the job itself, and how many do you spend on the business, like strategy and planning and marketing?
um it's kind of been super random. When I first started, I was definitely putting in like, I don't know, 60, 70, 80 hours a week. especially right after I quit my job, because I really had the time to really go all in. Um, so yeah, right now it's a little more flexible because I think I have my, teams in place. I have a couple salespeople that, they kind of do their own job. Everything's already been in terms of design and marketing aspects, so it's been a little bit, slow. And I think I've kind of taken my time to kind of relax the last month or so. Um, but yeah, so far it's been just go, 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 figure it out. And again, there's lot goes into it while running a business. I mean, for you, it may look like, oh, she just invested some money and all of a sudden the product is there. No, like that's not what happens, when you're running a business. Like you are going to deal with so many stuff that you have no idea about. You're going to learn how to do things that you probably don't like doing, but that's part of building a business, because it's everything is on you right now. So you're like, I have to be my own lawyer. I have to be my own, um, admin. I have to figure out all this tech stuff that I don't know how to do. So I have to figure out how to code because there's some error on my Shopify store that I don't know how to fix. Especially if you're again self-funded and you can always ask for
Yeah.
help. But whenever you rely on more, I think every single time you rely on someone, that's like you're dropping a couple grands or how much ever. So if you're bootstrapping like me, and again, I don't come from corporate or I don't come from a place where I had hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend. This is a bootstrap business, self-funded, just with me and my idea, and worked with I worked on this with really smart people and leaders in the group. So the expertise is there, right? And again, this entire company is backed by me, where I kind of, lead this with, transparency, and a lot of corporate companies might not simply have that. Um, so yeah, I think because of that, I think I kind of lost my train of thought there.
Oh, no, you're
I went
you're
to
all good.
space.
No,
I'm
you
sure this happens a lot.
yeah, it happens. It happens. Yeah, no, I mean I completely agree with what you're saying. Whenever you're working a normal like nine to five type job, it's like you clock out at 5 p.m., you can go home and you can go relax, and then you got to be at work the next day. Whenever you own a business, you might get a phone call at 8 p.m. that you have to take. And it's like technically you're on the clock at that time. Like you have to be on 24/7 whenever you're running a business, especially a bootstrap business like this.
Yeah, it's everything is on you. And that's why you have to be so strategic, so calculated about every step and decision you make. Because it's going to fall on you, and you can't simply blame it on anyone. And to start off with, it's a poor mindset to kind of blame things on people. That I think, and if you want to be successful, not just successful, fulfilled and happy, simply taking accountability, even if someone kind of did you wrong. I think it's their flaws, and it's their fault. So I don't necessarily like to play the, oh, like, you guys should have done that, or you did so wrong. I do hold people accountable and I do hold partners accountable, but I never sit there and wait for someone to solve things for me or count on anything external, which is, I think, one of the reasons why this business is even at this point. And I kid you not, David, the normal time frame for a manufacturing time from ideation to packaging, retail ready, as we are retail ready, right, in terms of our packaging, everything, distributing partner, is probably anywhere between 12 to 16 to even 24 months.
Oh
And the
wow.
fact that we have done it within, filed in February, start talking with partners around I quit my job. And to get to this point where we are now like ready, it's really ideal. And I don't think if I didn't execute and if I relied on a lot of external factors or waited there for people to solve my problems, I would not have gotten to this point. Um, so yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting. I'm super excited. And we are talking to retail partners as we speak. And there's definitely a lot of curiosity with biotech. I'm not sure if you follow skincare by any
My
chance?
wife probably does.
So yeah, there's a lot of biotech going on. And again, I think the main thing about biotech is audience's knowledge, right? Because they're being told, hey, exosomes are great, growth factors are great, and they're just kind of taking it and running with it, which is why the education piece is equally as important. And I firmly believe that you do need to know what you put on your skin and what happens biologically, just not short term, long term, which is one of the reasons why, like, I get to, being 100% founder and having zero pressure from investors to perform, I get to be picky and be like, no, like, I don't really care about making extra whatever. I care about what the product is and how it delivers long term. Is it good for your health, right? Because I genuinely do care about those things. Like I told you earlier, like I cannot sleep at night properly if I feel like, um, if I brought in a business partner and I feel like I kind of, blew through the week, if the business wasn't as successful or untimely. So yeah, if that made any sense.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely did. So I'm curious. I haven't encountered a business owner who hasn't had peaks and valleys on the journey of business. How do you manage the difficult days?
So that's a very important piece. And I think it's not just in business, I think in life in general. So right before I started my business, I kind of already knew how to deal with these, right? Because sales is always obviously peaks and valleys, right? And obviously what I've gone through in my life taught me a lot. To before I started the business, I was kind of partly ready. So my really what really helps me a lot through those peaks and valleys, stressing isn't going to help. Worrying isn't going to help, right? And those are natural feelings. And obviously your body's trying to tell you something, or like your intelligence trying to speak to you. But what helps me is being problem solving and staying calm and centered. Because if you are going to be a leader and represent a brand, especially bootstrapping where you have so much financial strain, you have no option but to solve that problem if you want to be successful. So my go-to strategy is just stay calm and centered and problem solve fast and efficient, right? And reach out to the right network that can help you, people, friends, family. Ask for help, ask around, and just keep solving and keep solving. That's it. And if you have a problem solving mindset, and no matter how difficult the peaks and valleys are, you will, from the valley, you will find your peak again if you are in the problem solving mindset where you're like, you know what, just lost 10 grand on this, but
Yeah.
no big deal. This is part of it. Now we're going to find a way to make 20 grand, from the lost 10 grand that we had. So you have to be on a problem solving in hyper strategic mode. Hyper strategy helps because strategy can be good and bad because, strategy means you're fixating on something. Um, and when you fixate on something and if it goes south, it kind of takes an emotional toll on you. It's also good because when you're strategizing and you're hyper focused on something, it's more likely, and it's a scientific thing, I'm not saying it to say it, it's probably more likely that you are going to achieve that, right? So even if it's a scrappy strategy, it is important to have a strategy because you're guiding your mind what to go, where to go. So during your peaks and valleys, you know, um, if you are at that point, compose yourself, have a problem solving mindset, have a strategy, reach out to friends and family because sometimes when you're in the problem, you cannot see the problem. So reach outside of your circle and meditate if you need to, but don't self-sabotage or do the things you aren't, supposed to do, sit down,
Hmm.
blame yourself, or, kind of have even like self-pity. I think those are all kind of um, pushing yourself in the rabbit hole of not success. If you want to be successful and if you want to get out of it, strategy, have a strong mindset, be positive, hold people accountable, hold yourself accountable, and be a good leader, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. That's some great wisdom. Um, how do you communicate what makes your business stand out against the competition? I know that the skincare market, there's a lot of stuff out there, so I'm really curious.
Um, this is gonna sound pretty crazy. We probably don't have as many competition because of how unique this product is. But you are right. The competitors are still there, right? Whether that's like stem cell or biotech market. Um, but again, we're speaking with an audience, right? Who want transparency, who want clean beauty, who demand transparency from the ingredients, and to not be, who want science, to be honest with you. And I believe there are products out there, and there's a lot of, exosomes and growth factors, right? And we are not that. We are plant stem cell based company. And again, we partner with a leading manufacturer in stem cell, and they have great clinical data on anti-aging. And we're leading with that, right? And not only that, our product has multiple benefits, right? Because we wanted to make sure this is a single product that kind of does it all. And I know it kind of sounds a little like, oh, everyone says that, but this was really intentional because I wanted, as a consumer myself, an anti-aging product that kind of does it all, what that puts my skin health on top of mind. Because you can go to market right now and buy a retinol, right? And it's phenomenal to what the science says it does. But again, there's a downside where, it can cause irritation. Comes Power B, where we're a solution for an anti-aging that's non-irritating. We're not saying that we replace retinol. The science behind how retinol works is super different than how plant stem cell works, but again, it does have that anti-aging benefit from the clinical data we've had and proven, visible anti-aging benefits. Now our competition with exosomes and growth factors, we don't compete with that category. I think exosomes are their science is different than what stem cell science are. Growth factors different, right? So we're catering to an audience who are leaning more towards plant stem cell, but they want clinical data to back it because a lot of plant stem cells in the market, David, they are simply botanical and products, and they don't really have a clinical backing, right? And so, which is why, again, our product is a clear differentiator where we are offering like a plant-based stem cell we've also added astaxanthin, which is one of the most potent antioxidant that you can find on Earth, um, according to studies, right? So we've also, our angle is also, supporting hydration. We have included the leading hydrating ingredients. So every single ingredients we've chose, they are known to be, somewhat leading in their space. From our point of view. So plant stem cell, antioxidant defense, again, super important for anti-aging. And I'm sure the audience has caught up to the science piece now where they do kind of understand what antioxidants do for your skin. Hydrating. I don't think, and going back to the question you asked earlier to kind of sum it all up, there isn't probably a single, well, they could be, right? And I could be wrong, but from our point of view, there aren't any product that are kind of doing it all where we're saying like, hey, plant-based stem cell product that have great clinical data we combine it with, one of the most like leading antioxidants for antioxidant defense. We put your skin health and like hydrating. there is there aren't many out there that kind of dominates that specific category, right? One and all, non-irritating, clinical data, keeping it clean, integrity, transparency. So we do believe that we are in a position where the competition kind of dims down because of how much we have considered and how much challenges we've solved in this space. Um, so we do consider ourselves innovative and unique. However, we do have competitors in the larger scheme of things, like, if you just consider skincare, yeah, there are millions of skincare products out there. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's
did I
awesome.
answer your question at all? Or
Oh
did
no,
maybe
you definitely did. Yes. Um, what sort of marketing planning do you have in place right now? I know y'all are about to launch the product, so obviously y'all probably have a bunch of marketing strategies y'all are using.
Yeah, honestly, we are really looking for our go-to-market strategy is honestly because it has a lot of clinical data and how clinical this is, and the formula is super innovative. So we are actively again reaching out to clinical retail partners. So that is really our strategy on sales and marketing. Again, we are also exploring some affiliate partners, and we have signed up for some couple of platforms that allows us to actively do that. So affiliate programs are great, especially since we're bootstrapping, right? And we're not in the mood to just kind of test the water and blow through 10 grand, to be honest with you, and see what it does. We're
Yeah.
we're in the mood for results.
Yeah, I my background's all in is a lot in affiliate marketing, so I know.
Okay, so you understand
Yeah.
the okay, so it's like, yeah, we could kind of blow through our marketing budget and just kind of see how it goes, or we could kind of be again strategic, like I told you earlier, how important it is to be strategic. You know, roll out a lot of affiliate programs, probably, consider like 100 to 200, depending on what the platform allows. Um, So yeah, that is currently our go-to-market strategies, partnering with retail channels. We are in launching affiliate and SEO strategy for Amazon and blogs. Again, we are heavy into SEO, and then pushing out content. Uh, so yeah, I mean, we have pushed out, I think, a decent amount of blogs for just kind of getting that SEO traction and gaining the brand trust into the Google search engine. So there is a lot of moving parts, right? So we are trying to establish trust on the Google site, pushing out blogs and contents, um, and um, and then launching affiliate programs, um, considering retail med spa channel partners. And again, we might have a dedicated sales team just for the med spa channels. It only makes sense to do that. Um, and yeah, we're actively seeking retail partners. So if anyone in the audience is a retail partner, please reach out. We are happy to, collaborate on this. And if anyone in the audience is a skincare fan, and if $99 is too expensive, and if you want a founder discount, please DM me. You consider yourself lucky. um,
Uh, yeah, no, that's awesome. What approach do you have on tracking your leads? Do you have a CRM that you prefer whenever you're going to be tracking these leads, anything like that?
Um, Honestly, just Shopify CRM for now, just through whatever channel it comes through. We haven't gotten to that point where we are needing CRM. And again, to be honest with you, I'm trying to make this as less complicated as possible. So super simple, where I can visibly see where we're spending where money is coming in and out, right? Again, once things do start getting complex, we're gonna need to, hire more. Right now, the strategy is bootstrapping, so we don't necessarily need a CRM system yet. We're just using like Excel sheet to kind of track, and it's working
Gotcha.
great because we're just a small group of people where an Excel is okay. And even when I worked at corporate companies, even though we had a CRM, we just use Excel because CRM can't do everything for you, and it's like, you can do whatever you want with Excel. You
Yeah, you
can't.
can build anything you need on there.
Yeah, and with the CRM, you're just so limited to what you can do, what you can assign. So I think Excel, thank you to Bill Gates. I think it just made a lot of entrepreneurs' life easier. I can't even imagine what life would be like without Excel. Like, what would we,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for real. I agree.
We'd all be stressed and like going to, probably our psychologist or therapist, like, what the hell is going on? I'm constantly stressed. Numbers all over my papers. So,
Yeah. Well, as we wrap up, I'll have a couple rapid fire questions for you if you're ready.
yeah, definitely.
What is the key to success for you?
Um, I mean, success could mean a lot of things. Do you mean success meaning like financially or, you know?
Whatever success means to you personally.
Okay, so you're asking me what success means for me?
Yeah.
Um, Success to me is honestly, from the point of view where I'm at, is just signing a couple retail partners, and honestly having to deliver this skincare product to the market as I have hoped, and deliver it to the customers, right? And and if they end up loving it, and and if it, if they see the results they're hoping to, that is success to me, and again, and in return, what do I get? I get to do my own things on my own terms, and build a company that I'm passionate about, and work with team that I love, and build a world-class team where we solve problems. That to me is the ultimate success, where building a great product, building a great team, doing things on my own terms, not being pressured from investors or anyone outside to kind of compromise, right? The values that I'm trying to build with this company, that defines success. And that's how I see myself, being long term, and, touch wood.
Yeah, that's awesome. What is one piece of advice you have for other business owners, like up and coming business owners?
Right. The startup founders you're
Yeah.
referring. For those who are contemplating on starting a business, I would say be prepared, and you really have to be prepared to give it your all. And strategy, 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 right? And I don't. Business is difficult, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So you need to make sure you have your strategy, and and you are taking actions to get to that point. If not, you're setting up yourself up for failure. And no matter how many business people come to you and tell you, hey, it's part of the process, right? It is, but you have to kind of be a leader, and even be honest with yourself on what the hell is working and what's not working, and pivot really quick. So you have to have that grit, and you have to have accountability, and you have to learn how to pivot fast. Otherwise, you are just going to burn yourself out, and sometimes even setting yourself up for, not success, and burnout. So be really careful with, what people say, and be, you know don't listen to, I would say, don't listen to what everyone is saying all the time. And I think that's part of the reasons why, you know um why you get so stressed out, is like you're just listening to what other people are saying or what you should be doing. You should own that domain that you were trying to get into. Master it. You make sure that there isn't any competitor that's really doing it at the level that you're doing. So you're going above and beyond. You are problem solving faster and better than everyone else. And if you do that, if you deliver to the level that no one else is expecting, you're going to win, because you're not leaving any room for any mistakes, or you're not delivering mediocre stuff. So when you are starting a business, I recommend you own that domain and that niche. And even if it takes you extra 3 to 4 months, it's all worth it, because it's your job and responsibility, I think, as a business owner, to really know what it is that you're doing, not just copying it from someone else's ideas and like, oh, he's successful and I'm going to do exactly what he's doing and I'm going to be successful. If you want to truly innovate and if you want to truly make sure you succeed, you keep innovating and you do things that others aren't doing and you do things that others aren't willing to do because not a lot of people are willing to take phone calls that are difficult, sit late at night to problem solve. So I think you just if you go in, you go all in. And if you go all in, trust me, you will succeed. And if you have the slightest doubt on if I should do this business or not, then you're not in the clear mindset. You should be 100% clear on if you want it or not. If you have clarity and certainty, like you are going to win because, at least from my point of view, that's how I see it. So,
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's so wise. And it's crazy whenever I'm talking with you and the fact that, you started your business in February. It's very wise, the stuff that you're saying. Um, what is a book or podcast you are currently reading or listening to right now?
um, to be honest with you, I am not a there was one book that I was obsessed with. I don't really read books as much, to be honest with you, and I have a lot of books in my in my house, and you'll find it. People probably come visit my place, and they're like, "Wow, she's really smart," and like she reads. I'm like, I haven't even turned like one page of that thing. It's just decorative. But there was one book called "Don't Worry, Make Money." This guy wrote a best-selling book. I I don't I don't I don't really remember the name of this author, but he's super famous for what he does. But the book's name is called "Don't Worry, Make Money." And then I love the writer. The way he's written it is not kind of telling you what to do, but more like guiding you or pushing you. And it's a self-help book, I think you would consider it. That's the only book I've kind of been fascinated by, and I've truly really read in my life. I'm not a book person and I don't read books. I know it's funny coming from, a founder who talks so much about I don't know. But podcast wise, and I have a quiz to you, David. Do you know Joe Dispenza by any chance?
No, I don't.
What? No
No,
way.
yeah, no, I
Oh my
don't.
God. So Joe Dispenza is he used to be a neuroscientist, I believe, and he had a crazy accident. And after his accident, he kind of, healed his body with his own mind, and he started doing this massive work and research into neuroscience and like mind body. So I have been following him for over 6, 7 years, and that's the only person that I kind of listen to and kind of makes sense. I'm a very logical person, logical and emotional, and I don't really buy into what people say or, buy into people's ideas like really fast, which is why I'm so kind of, you know, I'm only curious about the things that, really kind of make sense logically and emotionally for me. So Joe Dispenza is kind of, he's not a podcaster, but I kind of listen to his teachings a little bit. I used to listen to Andrew Huberman, but it started being too technical, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna slow down. What made sense doesn't make sense anymore. So I haven't listened to it. Otherwise, I do love listening to, some very occasionally business podcasts, like what you're hosting, right? And like hearing stories about other people, and keep up with AI. Super simple. So
Yeah,
it's simple.
yeah, that's awesome. Well, this is kind of a fun question. If you had a little bit of magic dust and you could choose one spot in your business to kind of sprinkle it all over, where would it be and why?
Um, I can answer that with such certainty. I already know what I want. It's just really running 2 to 3 retail partners, and like if I can sprinkle a dust and like get a couple of retail partners to sign with me, And I'm assuming, I mean, it's going to happen soon because we're just launching and, we have a lot of exciting stuff and we've already have a lot of conversation going both nationally and internationally with retail partners, right? So we have so many ongoing conversations. So something is going to land based on, what we've been saying. And the retail partners are loving the biotech innovation. It's a booming sector. So I wish I had that dust, but even if there is no dust, it's fine. We're going to make it. So we are the dust.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I'll mail some over to you.
Please do.
Uh, but before we get to the final question of the day, would you like to share with the audience how they can follow you, learn more, contact you guys?
Yeah, definitely. We have a couple channels. If the audience would like to personally follow me and my work, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. Again, my full name on LinkedIn is Rasu space Neupane. Maybe you can link this later, David. And yeah, I'm with the company called Power V. It's my company. And so if you guys want to follow closely on what I've been doing, or if you just want to learn about business aspect or skincare, you can follow me there. For our business page, we are on Instagram as at PowerVSkin, Power V as a Victor, Skin. We also have Pinterest at Power V Skincare. And we're also on TikTok. However, we're not as active. I would say Instagram is our go-to channel right now. So you can all follow us in that channel. And if you have any questions regarding partnerships, I would say either our LinkedIn Power V, DM me on LinkedIn, or email at team@powervskin.com, and we will be able to quickly answer anything related. So
Awesome. Well, we've come to the final question of the day, and that is, what is most inspiring you today?
what inspires me today?
Mm-hmm.
There is and I also have a clear and certain answer to this. I think every day, when I clock into work, or, whenever I'm putting a lot of work, there is one clear vision in mind, which is I just want and this is probably not the answer you're expecting, is just me by myself in like a forest villa in Bali, just me with my peace and my cup of coffee in the morning, and just peaceful. And I think that inspires me because I'm a very peaceful person, and as much energetic as I am, as much innovative of a person that I am and wanting to do stuff and going out there, I also love kind of spending time with myself and my peace. So my vision really is being in a villa in Bali and with a really nice view, surrounded by forest, and I wake up and enjoy my cup of tea and getting to take my calls from there where I have my peace, and that inspires me. Funny, I know that's not a common answer a lot of you get from a lot of people, because it's their family or their partner or whatever, but to me, like, that feels like home, and that feels like something that is fulfilling, and like, just, and that's why I work so hard, is to be at a place where I'm fulfilled and peaceful and doing things on my own terms, where no one is telling me really what to be, how to eat, or what to say. And that to me is my ultimate inspiration.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Awesome. Well, this was a great conversation, and I really enjoyed getting to hear your story. So thank you for sharing. Also, I just encourage all of you watching to save this show and come back and watch it again, because Rasu really did have some great insight for business. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you get notifications every time a new conversation drops, just like this one. Thank you to everyone who joined us today, and a special thanks to you, Rasu, for being with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, David. I enjoyed this.
Of
Thank you.
course. Yeah. And I will see all of you in the next episode.